Is 10,000 US dollars enough in 2025 for the finishings of a 2-bed cottage in Harare Urban? Today's video is a continuation of this. Today, we are going to be focusing on the plumbing and the electrical installation, the plastering, the painting, the ceiling, the tiling, and the aluminium windows and doors. So, let us go and do some shopping. Okay, so today I'm in Halstead's. We are going to be doing a little shopping of the things that are going to be used in the project. So let's shop around and see what we can get inside here.
Here is the paint section. They have a lot of paints, different types of paints. Everything paint related is just available here, and for the colors, every color that you can imagine, you can get it here. They will mix it up for you. Let's just have a look at the paints, the prices. They can be seen here, they're visible, so let's just have a look. Now to the plumbing material, the sinks, the taps. They have a whole range of different tapes. They're so nice, and they have a variety of price ranges. So with whatever price range that you have, it can fit in your budget. And what I just realized when I was just doing my shopping in this shop, there are times when they have these manager special. You can actually buy a lot of things which will be on special. And a big shout out to Simon Ma's branch. Very friendly and very helpful staff. They actually take their time to explain things to you. If you have questions in things that you're not really sure about, they will help you on that. Yeah, so as you can see, all these are tapes for the showers. Yeah, this one is so nice. Let's just shop around and just see what's in here.
Welcome back to Real Estate with Elaine. To my returning subscribers and viewers, as always, thank you so much. To those who are watching me for the very first time and those who haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Okay, let us get straight to the aim of this video. A little recap of the house that we are dealing with here. It is a 2-bed cottage with a study room. It has a bathroom and a toilet, and it has an open plan kitchen and lounge area. It is sitting on 80 square meters in Harare Urban. As always, I bring to you the exact figures of the materials and the labor involved. We do the real calculations here together, and of course, I did the physical visiting of the hardware shops in Harare. For the purpose of this video, we are going to be dealing with some 3D visuals. So let us get straight to the plumbing and the electricals of this house.
Okay, let me do just a quick show of the 3D visuals of the house. Okay, let's just look around and see what it is looking like. these 3D visuals, they are meant to satisfy your imagination. Everybody, when you are building your house, you have this idea that you have in your head. So nowadays, before you even have the house, you can bring this idea in your head into a real visual where you actually see, this is what I have in mind, this is how it is going to look like when it is on the ground. So you can have your alterations, you can change up things, you actually do the things in real time before having the physical house. Here is the quotation for the electricals which are needed for the installation, all the materials which are needed there, and the labor for the installation.
Okay, so we have seen the figure which is needed for the electrical installations. Let me attach it here. Okay, so this figure is just for the tubing only. Okay, so the electrical installations, it has 3 stages. The first stage being the tubing. The second stage is whereby they're now doing the connections, and they'll be putting the electrical wirings inside the tubing. And then the third stage is whereby they are now putting the sockets and everything electrical in the house. So this stage, we are just dealing with the tubing. The other 2 stages, they will be done later on as they come after other stages of the house have been done. So like I said, this figure is just for the tubing of the electricals. Okay, so let us move on to the plumbing of the house.
So this is the quotation for the materials which are needed for the plumbing. It is quite long, but all the nitty-gritties that are needed for the plumbing, they are there. And then here is the quotation for the labor for the plumbing.
All right, so this is the figure of the plumbing. This involves all the things that are going to be used in the house. That is from the bathrooms, the kitchens, the drainages, the vanities, the tubs, everything plumbing involved. So that is the amount for the materials which are going to be used. This figure, it differs a lot considering the preferences of a person and where you are buying these materials. Okay, so now going to the labor, this is the total figure of the labor. Now let us move on to the plastering of the house.
This quotation is covering both the inside and the outside of the house. The labor there, it was charged $200 and for the materials we can see that it was written rhino set 12 bags will be needed here. So I'll be going with the prices that I got at Halstead's, and the total cost of the 12 bags it was 238. So for this skimming it will be 238 plus $200.
All right, so we have seen the quantity and the labor costs which are involved in the plastering of the house, the inside and the outside. Now let us move on to the installation of the windows and the aluminum doors. How much is needed for this process? Okay, fine. Besides the general aesthetic of the aluminum windows and doors, they are strong, they are durable, they just tick the right boxes to have them on your houses. Okay, on the outside doors, well, a thick door could have been used, but well, Zimbabweans, why is it nobody ever gave me a heads up on the cost of those beautiful big pivotal wooden thick doors? But anyways, what matters is a door is there. Let us go to the video and put that.
Here is the quotation for the aluminium windows. The house has 19 windows and an aluminium sliding door will be put as well.
On the painting of the house, both inside and outside, changes are going to be put on the paint. It is going to be changed from the paint which is put on the quotation to Dulux for obvious reasons, preferences and stuff. So that is the reason why you are seeing that the figure that I'm putting here is different from the figure which is on the quotation of the painting. This is due to the switch up of the paint.
Here is the painting quotation. We have the labor there and the materials. Like I mentioned earlier on, the paints, they were changed hands. You're seeing the figure which is on the quotation here is different from the final figure we will be using for the painting of the house. There are more than 1,000 colors here, so any color that you have in mind, they will mix it up for you. You know, no matter what shade of white you want, you will get it here.
All right, now let us go on to the tiling and the ceiling of the house. We are going to go through the quotations. We are going to see the quantities of the materials that are needed, and of course the labor. So we are just going to go through that.
This is a quotation from Halstead's. It has a lot of things on it, so I'm just going to go to the part where we have the tiles, the adhesives, and the grout. So the total of the things that I mentioned here, it was $736, and the labor for the tile installation, it was charged $200. And then for the inside doors, this house is going to be having 7 doors. Basing from the quotation here from Halstead's, The total cost of the doors will be $340 US. Here is the quotation for the ceiling. It's inclusive of everything, the ceiling materials, the transport, the labor. So we're just going to go with this figure.
Building is never a one size fit all. We have different preferences, and due to our finances and capabilities, we are never going to build at the same pace and rate. Okay, you might find that somebody will build and be stuck on the foundation stage maybe for 6 months, a year, or even more than that. Some they'll be stuck on the superstructure for a year or even less, and then others they will just complete their houses within 6 months. But that shouldn't deter anybody. We move at different paces. What matters most is you starting your project and being able to finish it. Okay, nowadays the good part is this: we are now in a digitalized era. You might have been able to build your house, and now you are at a certain stage, and you, because of our circumstances and situations and the finances, you are now having to be on that stage for a certain period of time. What you can do is you can get yourself 3D visuals. They will help you to plan, to come up with the exact figures. And of course, it's always good just seeing and picturing what your house is supposed to look like, especially on the painting part of it. This is where I find it really important. You get to experiment with colors, just play around with colors. You get to see, so if I'm going to paint my walls like this, and then I put my vanities like this, I put my tabs like this, it's going to come out like this. It's actually nice just playing around with these things, and then finally when you get to manage to finish building your house, you know exactly what you are going for. Okay, so let us have just a recap of the visuals of this house.
Alright, let us have a look of what is anticipated to become of the house when it is done. Okay, let's just have a look around. The beauty of technology is this: your imagination, they will come to reality. These three designs are basically there to satisfy your imagination. Yes, when you are building, you already have this idea, you have everything in your head. This is what I want this to be there, I want this to be that. But before the actual house is there, you can now have these 3D designs done for you, so that you get to visualize everything. If there are changes that you want to make, you can make them. The color combinations that you want, you just play around with them. And also, even on the ceiling, you get to have your designs of the ceiling that you want. You get to see how they will look like on your house. Yeah, I know you might have seen somebody else ceiling design, then you'll be like, oh, this is so nice, I want it for my house as well. But then maybe due to the sizes and a lot of different aspects, it will not come out the same. So this is the point of the 3D designs. You just play around and see what you like and how it will come out like. Also, these also work even for the landscape. You can do your landscapes. Yeah, you get to design how you want your landscape to be looking like. All right. that's just the beauty of technology. Let us embrace it. These things, they are meant for us to use. They are meant to make our lives easier. Now to our Excel sheet where we do the calculations of everything that is needed for the interior of this 2-bed cottage, which is in Harare Urban. Yeah, so here let me just put on my heading for the house. Okay, and then categorizing everything that I'm going to be putting here down. Okay, so the materials there, then the next one, the labor, okay, and then the next one, the total. Okay, so the first one, it is the electrical. This quotation, it was inclusive of everything, the materials, the labor. Okay, it was just charged at once. And then moving on to the next, the plumbing for the materials. This was the amount which was put, and for the labor, it was charged $320 US. Moving on to the plastering, okay, for the materials, the rhino set which is going to be used, there is the figure, and then the labor for both the interior and the exterior of the house. And then for the painting, the figure was 614, and then for the labor it was 200. Moving on to the next, which is the ceiling. The ceiling, it was just one quotation inclusive of everything, the labor, the transport, the materials. Okay, and then moving on to the next, the tiles, the adhesives, the grouts. It was 736 US dollars. Okay, let me put the figure here. All right, done. And then for the labor, it was 200 US dollars. Moving on to the aluminum windows and doors. Like we also, 19 windows are going to be installed and one sliding door. So the quotation, it was inclusive of everything, the materials, the transport, and the installation, which brought the amount to 2,336. And then for the inside doors, okay, it was 340 US dollars. Okay, let me just put it there. Okay, there it is. Okay, so now to the miscellaneous or the contingency money. I had to put it here on 800 because a lot of things would be needed here. You know, all these tiny things. Some things might be forgotten and stuff. So we just put it on 800 to be safe. Okay, so now to the calculation and summing everything up. Okay, so let me just put my calculations on the Excel. Okay, so they are the totals, and now to the grand total, the auto sum of everything. Right, there it is, 9,259 US dollars. That is the amount which is needed for the interior of the house for now. Okay, so let's go and put that figure.
So we are done with the calculations. As you saw on the Excel sheet, we have come up with the figure, which is 9,259 US dollars. So to answer the question, is 10,000 US dollars enough for the finishings of this particular house in question to make it habitable? Yes, it is enough. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss the next video of this series, which is the icing on top of the cake. Until next video, cheers.